Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts. Tonight we've got Judge Washington, Judge Fleischer, Judge Middleton, and we may be able to pull off a Judge Simpson there. Jen Hardy's got a show going on at 9 o'clock tonight, so we're going to make sure we get to meet her there. So we're going to start off with Judge Washington. Here we go.
State of Michigan versus Terrarius Brown, case number 24 FB 1240. Recall.
First, make that for the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Brown. If you called my case early, I apologize. I'm starting off Monday with a Zoom fail, but hopefully everyone can hear me now. It looks like you can. Mr. Brown, could you please state your name for the court?
Yes, sir. Travaris Brown.
Mr. Brown. We're here for a sentencing today. Have you had a chance to review the report with your client?
I have, Your Honor, and I have no corrections or anything to make to the body of the report. And I could say a few words on behalf of Mr. Brown at the appropriate time.
All right, Ms. McDuffie?
Yes, Your Honor. I did review the PSR. I agree with the recommendation. I appreciate that Mr. Brown was honest and open, at least at the time of the interview. It looks like some minimization happened, I think, on the scene and at the time. I still just hope that he truly understands what could have happened here. This could have been an extremely tragic situation with serious injuries or the death of everybody in that car, in his own family, and not to mention anybody else out there on the road. And it's to get upset, to get angry. We see that all the time and know it's not acceptable, but to take an action like jerking the wheel like that in a way that could be so deadly and is so dramatic. I hope that Mr. Brown follows up on any recommendations to find out what's going on in terms of the way he processes things, and to make sure that his mental health is clearly sort of explored and that he's aware of anything he needs to be aware of, because that's if anger causes you to go there, I want to make sure that he gets on top of anything he needs to get on top of to make sure that nothing like that is ever remotely close to happening again. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Bernstein?
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't disagree with anything Ms. McDuffie said. The recommendation is appropriate. I think the important thing about Mr. Brown is he has been taking pretty extensive action since the offense to learn from it and to do better in the future. He's been in the Accountable Choices program for 4 months now. And I think Ms. McDuffie's right when she says that there was some minimization at the time. But he has spent the last 4 months in that class challenging his core beliefs, learning what he's in control of and learning what he needs to do better. So he's got a really good jump start on probation there. And I think that's reflected in the attitude that he demonstrated with the probation officer. He is also actively in counseling to work on mental health issues and stressors in his life and how to appropriately handle those so that they don't spiral and become something way worse. And for what it's worth as well, he did take a parenting class over the last couple of months too. So he's going to have a really good head start on probation. And I think it really shows that he's taking this extremely seriously, Your Honor. And I think that's the kind of attitude and actions that we can expect from him moving forward.
Thank you. Before I go to him for allocution, Ms. McDuffie, your victim is here. Did she want to speak today?
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize. I was just reaching out to find out if she wanted to make a statement. Ms. Brown, you are welcome to say anything you'd like to at this time.
Hello, Your Honor. You all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
And see me?
Yes. Good morning.
Okay. Your Honor, I understand the no contact order was in place and to ensure my safety, and I really appreciate the court's concern for my well-being. However, I do not feel like I'm in danger whatsoever. I believe that it would be safe for me to have contact with my husband. Since this incident, we've both been taking steps to improve, and I am confident that we are committed to resolving things in a healthy way and constructive manner moving forward. And I am making a request on my own free will, if without any pressure or anything, if the no contact order can be lifted in the best interest of our family and myself.
Thank you so much, Ms. Brown. I'll definitely take that into consideration as I decide the direction to go. I will let you know, as well as him, that I have read the full police report regarding this incident. And given your behavior, grabbing a pen, I don't think this was the first incident of domestic violence. So I want you to know that I'm also taking that into consideration. Anything else from you, ma'am?
Yes, no, nothing else.
All right, thank you so much. All right, at this time, is there anything you would like to say, Mr. Brown?
Hey, it looks like we got a Biggin raid. Thank you so much, Biggin. I really appreciate it. Got a whole pile of people in here. Biggin did a great job of sending people over here. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Trying to get everything going, get everything moving right. But we're gonna jump back into Judge Washington. She's sentencing a fellow who snatched the wheel and tried to hurt everybody else in the car with him, and so she's doing the sentencing right now. And then we've got Judge Fleischer and Judge Middleton after that. So we're gonna hit start.
Just that, I understand the situation. I'm in no way, trying to downplay the severity of the situation. I take a full accountability. And as Mr. Bernstein stated, I've been working with Accountable Choices. I've learned a lot about proper communication and resolving issues and things of that nature. And I'm working one-on-one with a counselor for any mental health issues that I may not have, known I had prior or anything like that. And just that, like I said, I'm not, I'm taking this very seriously, and I hope that, I can move forward in a constructive way and helping, be the best father and husband that I can be, or the best family member in general for everyone around me, not just my relationship, but in any relationship I come across, whether it be work related, whether it be, personal, platonic, anything like that. That was all, Your Honor.
Well, I think Ms. McDuffie said a lot about how I feel too about this particular situation. I mean, I think I will say that her statement was that everybody could have been killed. My concern is that it was your intent at that time to kill everyone. That is actually what you told them. That is actually what you tried to do. But for the actions of Miss Michelle Brown, it probably would have happened. And then after that, you proceeded to punch and hit her. So classes can make a difference in behavior. And I am very, very glad that you're taking those steps. But your behavior is so depraved that I'm not sure that it's going to fix where you are. I hope it does. And I hear Ms. Brown saying that she's not afraid for her safety. Fine, that's probably because she's conditioned to think that this is okay. And she's conditioned to believe you when you say you won't do it again. But it's not my relationship. And I think you're very fortunate that she still believes in you. You're going to take out generations on purpose. It probably is not the best timing for you, because I recently learned that a family member of mine crossed the highway and 5 members of the family were killed head-on crash. And it's just sad that someone would want to try to do that on purpose. I'm having a hard time thinking that Probation is the only outcome that should occur from this situation. And sometimes when no one is harmed, like in a terrible way, we end up here with this result. But you're dangerous. But for the work that you're putting in at this time, I would not follow this recommendation. And I want you to know that I'm going to watch very closely to make sure that you mean what you say. This started over a Mother's Day dinner or brunch or whatever. It's just so sad. On the Mother's Day, I mean, have you really thought about that? On Mother's Day, you tried to take out not just the mother of your child, but her mother too. It is the sentence of this court that you serve 365 days in the Washtenaw County Jail. Credit for 6 days that were served, 359 are suspended. You're on probation for 24 months. One moment. That's what I was looking for. You're on probation for 36 months. I'm not gonna do just 24 months. You're on probation for 36 months. Fines and court costs in this case for a total of $795 plus $30 per month probation oversight fee. You to meet with probation when and where directed, including any and all home visits. And probation group meetings. You'd attend and complete the Accountable Choices Batterers Intervention Program at a rate of 1 session per week for a minimum of 52 sessions, including the weekend program, and you must remain compliant with their attendance policy. You'd attend and complete all mental health counseling and sign a release of information. You're restricted from having any alcoholic beverages in the home. You're to submit to, pay, and be responsible for random drug and alcohol tests as requested by the court, probation, or any police officer. You're to provide monthly verification of compliance and complete of these completed probation terms. You're to attend court reviews as ordered by the court and provide proof of compliance. You're to make earnest efforts to maintain legitimate employment. You must continue to attend those parenting classes, sir. Where are you with the parenting classes at this time?
Well, the one I was taking was a 10-hour, 5-week program, but I can do whatever you have. If you want me to take some more, I can do that. I'm on whatever it is we can do.
You finished that already?
Yes, ma'am. And I have completed the certificate. I have that. I can provide that to the courts as well.
You are restrained from harassing, stalking, threatening, or engaging in any conduct that would place Michelle Brown or Traveris Jr. in reasonable fear of bodily injury. Wasn't there another individual in the car as well? Gwendolyn? And what is her last name?
Yes, Your Honor. I think I may have left her off accidentally when I revised the amended report, so I apologize for that,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
I'm looking up the report right now.
I
Your
have
Honor.
it. It's Gwendolyn, Benita. Same is true for Gwendolyn Benita. No assaultive or threatening behavior towards either of them or anyone else. No unwanted contact with either of them. No use or possession of alcohol, marijuana, illegal drugs, drug paraphernalia, no being in the presence of anyone using them. No use of any firearm components, ammunition, or other dangerous weapons, and not being in the presence of anyone carrying or using those. Do you have any weapons in the home, sir?
No, sir. Or no, ma'am. I apologize. No, ma'am.
I'm gonna do a review in 60 days. That'll be on November 25th, 2024 at 10 o'clock a.m. Sir, I hope you're learning that you took on the responsibility of a family. Doesn't give you the right to take anybody's life or to endanger them in any way, shape, or form. If I hear about you doing anything, you won't like the consequences, I can assure you. So please, please just try and be a better father, son-in-law, and husband. You need to contact the probation department and schedule a time to go over this report with them. Do you have their phone number?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Please contact them by after 9 o'clock tomorrow. I think one of the things that I'm worried about right now is you had a public opportunity to apologize to your wife and you didn't do that. I think it's an indicator of where you are. Yes, you can unmute.
Well, just because of the no contact, I was just under the impression I was not able to speak to her directly. So I do apologize about that. But if I can, Michelle, I hope that you understand that it was never my intention to, try to kill or hurt anybody, but I do greatly apologize. I put everybody in harm's way. I grabbed the steering wheel, and at the end of the day, that is what it is. I did yank the car that put everyone in harm's way. It could have been way worse than it was, but I do apologize. I put everyone at risk. I was not being a husband. I was not being a father. I was not being an accountable man of integrity, but I take full accountability on what it was that I did. I'm kind of at a loss of words. I haven't been able to speak to her in so long. So it's really hard for me to come up with the words, but all I can really say is that I'm sorry that I put our entire family at risk. I'm sorry that I did what I did. I do apologize. If I could apologize a million times, if I could make a public video to show the entire world how sorry I am, I could do that. I know I can't change the past, but I just hope that, you and the courts and everyone else can see that I will be the best man I can be going forward. I guarantee you, Your Honor, the next time you see me in this court, I will say that, you will never again see me in this court for a negative thing. I promise you, I will never put my hands on anybody ever again. I will never put anybody in harm's way. You said yourself, I took on the responsibility of being a father, and I'm to be the provider and the protector for the family that I have. And that is my one duty as a man, and I plan to do that to the best of my ability. And so again, I do apologize, Your Honor. I'm not minimalizing the situation whatsoever. Yes, I grabbed the steering.
But you are though. You are though. And you're making me rethink my decision, because the reality is you are on tape telling that whole family you will kill them all. And you sit here today and say you didn't have the intent?
I did. I had the intent to hurt the people. And I was reacting out of anger. I do apologize, Your Honor. I'm not trying to obfuscate from the situation at all, Your Honor. I take full accountability for what I did, Your Honor. I am not trying to escape from anything. I did what I did, Your Honor. I wholeheartedly, on tape right now, am confessing to exactly what was said in that police report. I do apologize, Your Honor. I may have misworded what I said, but I promise you I am not trying to obfuscate from this.
You just told your wife that you hope that she knows that you did not intend to kill them, when you in fact told them you intended to kill them.
What I meant was, I hope
Oh,
that,
sorry.
may she speak?
Not right now, no.
Okay, what I meant was, I hope that she understands that I have our best interest at heart. You know, at the end of the day, is that's my family. I love my family. There's nothing in this world, that means more to me than my family, Your Honor. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not trying to obfuscate from anything.
Duffy, was there something else you wanted to say?
I've honestly been sitting here. I know Mr. Brown is trying to make himself appear, he's making it so much worse than it was just even a few minutes ago, as the court said. I think people are programmed sometimes to say it was never my intention. And I think that what that means truly is that I didn't intend to be in this situation. But the reality of that is I didn't intend to be caught. I didn't intend for this to turn into something where I have to actually be held publicly accountable and account for it. Obviously, the intent in that moment when you say, watch this, I'll fucking kill you all, when it's not just, it's more than 2 generations. There's a baby crying in the back seat when this is happening.
I said 3. I said 3 generations.
Oh, I just, yeah, it's this is Mr. Brown. What I want him, if nothing else right now, is to really just stop talking and stop trying to, you are not in control of where your mind is, quite frankly, on some levels. And so I don't know what causes people to do things like this. I really don't. On some level, I don't want to understand. And for Miss Brown, I appreciate that she wants things to be in a position where her family can start to move forward. But moving forward too often means let's move past what's happened and make that okay, and just hope and assume that it won't happen again. It is very clear from this report, in a whole lot of ways, that this is not the first time something has happened. Minimization is happening across the board. I understand there are different reasons for that. This situation is extremely dangerous. I'm glad that Mr. Brown is trying. I think,
And Your Honor,
Mr. Brown, I don't know, did you hear a single thing I just said?
That was Mr. Bernstein.
Oh, that was Mr. Bernstein. Okay, I'm sorry.
no, yeah, no, Miss McDuffie, I'm listening to you. I'm hearing you. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was just gonna say, perhaps the safest thing right now is just to leave the no contact order in place and just let Mr. Brown continue programming, continue counseling, and let that stick some more. I mean, he's doing everything he can to try to change. I mean, I know it's tough when, he's on the spot, and he did give a mixed bag of things said, but he's trying through his actions to be a better person, and perhaps now is too soon to move forward with dropping the no contact order. Perhaps he could continue to let the programming stick, and then it could be reevaluated down the road.
That's what I'm thinking. Ms. Brown, you wanted to say something?
Yes, so is the no contact for me and our son? I'm just curious about that
Because why, ma'am?
I kind of need help with my son, like co-parenting, like just for like the sake of the CPS has dropped all the taking parent rights away, so he would have his parent rights, and I'm just trying to figure out how that co-parenting look. We're in 2 different households, So I'm just trying to see how we can make this work, as I'm the only one right now.
Can I see counsel in a breakout room? All right, we're back on the record in the case of Travaris Brown. In this particular case, I'm going to do a couple things different than what I ordered before. One of those is I'm going to do a review in 30 days, which is going to be on October the 21st at 10 o'clock a.m. instead. And then I'm going to have no contact in place until then. Sir, you need to complete the weekend accountable choices. Is Mr. Brown here?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here, Your Honor.
You need to complete the weekend accountable choices. And I'm gonna allow you to have it's my understanding you have supervised contact with your child.
Yes, ma'am. That's what CPS told me.
You can have the supervised contact with your child until then. But hoping that over the next 30 days, sir, you can get enough programming in that I can truly see that there's a difference in where your mindset is. I know you think you're there, but you're nowhere near being there. So that is my order, that it's no contact with the exception of the supervised contact via phone with your child.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Nice. I don't know, what the hell happened to cause all this, but a little bit of craziness in it. I see the little storm talking in there. Being in Florida, I keep getting asked about the damage, and so before the live tonight, I decided to go outside and get y'all a picture of how it looks out here. I didn't want to really go out too far, but here's the storm damage we've got going so far. Yeah, it's going to be a rough one for us here in Florida. I live right in the center of Florida, so we're protected on both coasts, so we just get right there in the middle, and so that's about as far as we got. We normally wait to see that to be able to tell if it's winter time, but we'll just go ahead and call that storm damage. So, all right, we're going to go over to Judge Fleischer and Judge Middleton. So here we're going to go over there.
Mr. Nichols, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On September 18, 2024, an officer was actively patrolling at the 1107 block of Freeport Road when they observed criminals crossing in the middle of the street where a sidewalk is provided. Deputies activated their emergency lights to make contact with the males for the violation.
So jaywalking?
Yes. The defendant turned around, looked at the patrol vehicle and waved his hand to wave the deputies off and continued to walk southbound. An officer exited the patrol vehicle and attempted to advise the defendant of the reasoning for the stop. The defendant told the officer to leave him alone and continued to walk past him. The officer asked for their identification and the defendant replied, "I don't need one," and continued to walk past the officer, being uncompliant with the officer's orders. Officer got in front of the defendant once again, requested identification, and the defendant raised his hands up to chest level and stated, "I don't need one," again. The officer attempted to detain the defendant, but the defendant continually pulled his arms away from the officer's attempts to do so. After the officers were able to detain the defendant, he said he knew he was wrong, but he knew he had open warrants.
So where was he crossing exactly?
The 1100 block of Freeport Road. 11.
What is that though? Is he in the middle of the street? He doesn't tell. He's just saying the block. To me, it's a conclusory statement.
They're saying that they're walking in the middle of the street, but there's a sidewalk along that street, I guess, and he just didn't use the sidewalk.
Yeah, please. Hang tight.
All right. All right. Good afternoon to each of you. I'm Judge Middleton. I'm here at the courthouse in Centerville, and you're each here for a small claims trial. The title of the case is Olivia Louise Reyes versus Johnny Gomez. The file number is 241305SC. Let me tell you both that we are in the small claims division of 3B District Court Civil Division. As such, the rules are different than general civil court. I'll tell you about some of it. Claim is limited to $7,000. Neither party is allowed to have an attorney. We don't strictly follow the rules of evidence or procedure. I will use letters, estimates from businesses, that sort of thing, as evidence without a lot of foundational rigmarole. There is no appeal from small claims court. Any decision made here is final. Either party has the right to remove the matter from small claims to the general division of the court. You have to tell me before we start. Once we begin, any decision made here is final and there is no appeal. Ms. Reyes, you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Gomez Garcia, you understand?
Yes.
Are you both ready to proceed?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to ask you each if you would please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Reyes, you're the plaintiff and you have the burden of proof. In this case, you have filed a small claims asking for $7,000 regarding the purchase of an automobile. Let me get into the electronic version of this file. Mr. Garcia, you've got people in the background that we can hear. You're either going to have them move or you move because they're bleeding into the signal here.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Reyes, you purchased this vehicle, as I understood it, for $3,000 and then found some problems with it. Tell me, why are you asking me to award you $7,000?
Because the car, I bought it for $3,000, and the whole situation, I wasn't able to use that car longer than 24 hours. They were very sketchy about me test driving the car. The test drive didn't go very well because it's an automatic and it can also slap into a shift. And I don't know what I'm really looking for, I guess. And they all showed up, his whole family, just to sell me this car. And they told me that I couldn't come pick it up because they didn't have a plate for it. But when they were at my house, they removed a plate off it. And Mr. Johnny Gomez, I didn't have the rest of the funds for her because he told me that if I went on a date with him, that they would knock down the price to $2,800, and I refused. So that's what happened, and that's why I got to test drive the car to go to the ATM to give the lady the other $100 or $200, which I also sent on a Cash App that I have a screenshot of.
Well, how do we get to $7,000 for a $3,000 car?
because I'm charging him double, and because I have been suffering this entire time with me and my kids with not being able to do things and go to the doctors and stuff. I'm in debt with a lot of people because I don't have a vehicle because the transmission was completely cracked. Like my maintenance man made me move the vehicle. I had to get it towed away and scrap it. All in less than 24 hours, and the headlights didn't work. That's my fault for not checking them during the day. Like I said, I don't know much about vehicles, and it was just only me. So I think that that's completely unfair. He lied, and the owner of the vehicle wasn't even present. And it was a salvage title, and he never told me that until after I gave them the cash.
All right, that may have salvaged some claim here. You can't sue for double in small claims court. You're sued for more than double. You sued for $7,000 on a car you paid $3,000 for. You can't sue for pain and suffering. You can't sue for mental anguish. Can't sue for loss of other things. So your claim is suspicious right on its face. Did he offer a warranty when he sold this car?
They did not write me. No, they did not write me a bill of sale. They did not write me anything. I didn't get nothing.
Did you get a title?
A salvage title, correct.
So did you take that title to the Secretary of State?
No, I called the house scrapyard. His name is Sam. He owns it. And he came and he personally picked up and towed the Nissan away. And I sold it to him because it was scrap. The transmission was completely
How
cracked.
much did you get for it?
$250.
All right. Now, there are several problems. One, you bought this without a warranty. This problem is as old as the Romans. The Romans had a saying, caveat emptor, which means buyer beware, which is still the mark word today. So nobody put a gun to your head, made you buy this vehicle. You bought it perhaps without doing your due diligence, and you bought a car with no warranty from some guy you met over the internet. And now it's all his fault, and he owes you $7,000. So you have to have a theory on which you violate, you're suing him. And that would normally be violation of a warranty. But there was no warranty. The car was sold as is. So this happens a lot. Happens in used car dealerships all the time, where the car breaks, they want to sue the dealership. They bought it as is. Well, this wasn't as explicit as that. And you brought up something that I was not aware, that the vehicle had a salvage title. When did you learn it had a salvage title?
After I gave them the cash. They gave me the title all folded up. And after I opened up the title, it said it was a salvage title. And I have Sam, the owner of the junkyard, to confirm that.
All right, well, you were not a very good buyer here. You didn't do an adequate job of driving it. You didn't look at it, and you didn't look at the title. So let's hear what Mr. Gomez has to say. He did submit a couple letters.
Yeah, there was plenty of people that showed up. It kind of intimidated me that the whole family had to show up.
All right, let me read this one. I, Jacqueline Sanchez, would like to inform you of what I witnessed on that day. Fidel Garcia sold a lady in White Pigeon a car. We drove the car to her, and when we arrived, the lady came out and looked at the car, and then we went for a drive. The lady, Brenda, and Fidel were all at the car when she drove it. When they came back, she took a last look at the car and under the hood. Then they finished the deal and we drove off. To my understanding, Johnny Gomez posted the car for sale on Facebook, but his uncle Fidel Garcia was the one selling the vehicle. Here's another letter, which is longer. Brenda Aguirre, me, would like to inform you about the events that happened on a day a Nissan Altima was sold to Olivia Reyes. On March 2024, Johnny Gomez posted a car for sale on behalf of his uncle. I was asked by Fidel Garcia if I can go help him translate on the sale of a car due to a language barrier between him and the person interested. I witnessed driving the car to 208 South Elkhart Street in White Pigeon. Due to that, Ms. Reyes didn't have transportation to come to the car's location. Once we arrived at the location, Ms. Reyes came out to look at the car. Mr. Garcia offered a test drive so she can see how the car was functioning. Ms. Reyes went to the driver's seat, Mr. Garcia on the passenger seat, and I went to the back seat for the test drive of the car. She drove north on Elkhart Street, took a left on West Peck Street, and drove a couple of houses down and did a U-turn on the residential house, came back toward the apartments. She stated she liked the car and she needed to go to an ATM to withdraw some money because she didn't have it all in cash. So she drove past the apartments and drove to a convenience store named Shell on Chicago Road in White Pigeon. She got out of the car and went to the ATM to withdraw money. When she came back, she counted the money and offered to send me my cash app, small of money to complete the amount of the car was for sale. Then she drove the car back to the apartments. We removed all the personal stuff and looked under the hood for a couple minutes, and the deal was finalized. She kept the car and we took off in a separate vehicle. Days later, she sent a text message to Mr. Garcia, threatening him that if he didn't return the money back in 24 hours, she was going to sue him for $10,000 because he had taken advantage of her mental problems. I took Mr. Garcia to the Sturgis police station to talk to them about the situation. The officer informed him he wasn't obligated to buy the car back from her if he didn't want to because she test drove it and inspected the car before she drove it. He then took both of our information The officer also suggested to block her from social media and phone so she can stop bothering him. After that, I didn't hear any more until Johnny Gomez received the court papers in July. So, Mr. Gomez, this wasn't your car. It belonged to your uncle, Fidel Garcia.
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell me what you know.
Nobody told her about, as I remember, nobody told her to, let's go on a date and I will drop the price. I honestly tried to meet the person, you know, she looks like a nice person. And which after she told me that not go on a date and I dropped it, right? And she sent me a text about, hey, let's hang out. I was like, okay, send me your address. And she came to my house and respected my mom. And I don't see that nice, you know. Nobody can just come and respect your house, you know.
What did
And I
you
don't know
do?
Huh?
What did you do to disrespect your mother?
No, Miss Reyes respected my mom.
Oh, she respected or disrespected?
She started calling my mom's names.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my mom here.
Well, that isn't really relevant to this. She
Okay.
says she bought this car and A, it had a salvage title and she didn't know it. And B, the transmission didn't work. What do you say?
I told straight up the car ran good and everything. We took it to her place, and after we took it to her place, I hop off the car. They negotiate, and she liked the car, and she test drove it.
You weren't even in the car.
No,
That's why I
Ms.
said
Reyes, I'll give you a chance to speak. So yeah, she's suing you, but you
Yeah.
helped facilitate this
Yeah,
sale,
the
but
car
it
is not
wasn't your
even mine.
car.
Yeah,
Did you know the car had a salvage title?
I didn't know nothing about that. I just know it was my uncle's car. But I don't know nothing about the title, to be honest. She saw it at the
So-
car. She checked the title. Nobody obligated her to buy the car, you know. If she knew it was a salvage title, nobody told her to buy it, you know. It was her own choice, her own decision to buy it, you know.
Yes, that was what I thought when I first looked at this, until I learned that she learned there was a salvage title after she handed over the money.
Yeah, she didn't give me the money. Tell her who she gave the money to.
Did you offer any warranty on this car?
No, nothing.
Did the Facebook post inform that it held a salvage title?
No. But she saw the title. If she knew it was a salvage title, why she bought it? Nobody obligate her, tell her to buy it. You know, it was her own.
Well, she didn't know. What she said is she didn't know it was a salvage title until after she turned the money over.
I didn't know it was a salvage title neither. My uncle should have told her, you know, because my uncle was the owner of the car.
Your mom's name is on the title.
Only was
Ms. Reyes, I'll give you a chance to speak.
only was the translator. That's all. The wrong person, you know.
Yes, I am concerned about that. You're helped facilitate this, but it wasn't your car.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. It wasn't my car. It makes me mad and upset because I'm a good person, you know. I would never do people wrong, you know. I have a good heart. And
Well,
she's
you
the
set
wrong
up,
person.
I mean, obviously she's upset because the car conked out immediately after she bought it. She didn't
Yeah.
spend $3,000 on a car to sell it for $250 scrap. She thought she was buying a car that she could use. So the car was not good. What year was this?
¿Qué año era el carro? ¿Qué año era? ¿2008? I don't know what year was the car, to be honest.
Ms. Reyes, can you tell me what year was the car and how many miles?
I'm pretty sure it was a 2006, and I don't know the mileage.
Was it on the title?
No.
It was supposed to be.
Every car.
All right, couple problems. One, there's no warranty. When you buy a car from someone you meet on Facebook Marketplace, you assume the risk of buying this car. So a diligent buyer would take it to a mechanic first and have somebody look at it, or at least do something more than drive it a couple of blocks. You don't even know how many miles it had on it. That's very relevant. I don't know if it had 50,000 or 350,000. And I was inclined to give you something because you purchased the car without knowing it had a salvage title. But Mr. Gomez Garcia is not the owner of the car. So two problems. I'm not sure you have a claim at all. You certainly don't have a $10,000 claim. So you devalue your credibility by suing for 2.5 times the amount you could sue for in small claims court. You don't get $7,000 on a $3,000 car. Plus, they don't get the car back. They just give you $10,000 for a car you paid $3,000 for, and that's salvaged. So you are $7,250 ahead. That's not how it works. But two, you didn't sue the person that sold you the car. You sued the translator. So I'm not sure you even have a claim. You can start over and sue Fidel Gomez.
Your Honor,
Fidel Garcia.
Your Honor, on the title is actually Johnny Gomez's mother, and I'm not sure what her name is, but it does. I don't think it matters about his uncle because on the title is his mom's name, and she's actually on video right now with him, so we can actually talk to her.
Well, you can sue her.
That's fine. I need a name. I don't know her name.
Well, if her name's on the title, you should be able to see it from that.
No, I remember I scrapped it and I gave the title to Sam.
Well, she didn't give you any more warranty than he did.
Right, but if I can sue her for $3,000 for as much as I paid the car for it, because I didn't.
Well, you can sue her. I'm not sure you can prevail. You can sue her. You can sue her.
The headlights didn't even work, and I have proof that he admitted it.
But yeah, you handed over $3,000 for this car. So,
yeah, because I trusted what they were saying, and it was all lies.
Caveat emptor. All right, Mr. Gomez, what's your mother's name?
You want to talk to my mother? She's here.
Well, I'm just asking you her name.
Her name is Marisela Garcia Espinal.
How do I spell that?
So right now, you don't even have the title. You're not going to get very far if you try to sue her. You have to establish there was some sort of warranty, and she's the title holder. And somebody had to sign the title over to you and put the number of miles on the title at the time of the sale. Whenever I buy or sell a car, I do it at the Secretary of State's office. So I do the title transfer right there. I haven't done it very much, but even when I sold a car to my son, for $1, we did it at the Secretary of State's office. I find there's no cause of action here. It's there's no warranty, and it's the wrong party.
Yes.
So
can I get the spelling of that? Sorry.
All right. I don't know what it is. You can watch the live feed and get it. All right. Thank you. This matter's over.
All right, so Mr. Nichols, I wanted to get back with you because I wanted to do a deeper dive on your probable cause. You know, sometimes it takes a little bit more than just 5 minutes. You're charged with the interference with the duties, and what they're alleging is that you're quote unquote jaywalking.
Yes,
But
Judge.
I want to know, I want more specifics as far as what he has done as far as violating the law.
So Judge, in terms of the jaywalking, he was with another individual. We watched the body cam. It looks like they're slow walking nowhere near a crosswalk while there are multiple vehicles passing right by them within feet of their own bodies, stopping only so they don't get struck by those vehicles, only to continue the jaywalk. Now, our position to say, Judge, is that is a violation of the traffic code that establishes.
Did they cross the street?
They end up eventually crossing successfully, but it was reckless and it was a violation of the traffic code. Officers saw them in action doing that. They stopped them right away. This defendant did have a JP warrant that he didn't want to get arrested for. That's why he didn't comply with them. He admitted that to them. And I did confirm the warrant was served and executed on that day. So
what's a warrant for?
I don't know. It was a JP court warrant, so some sort of JP ticket that he got, Judge. I don't know exactly what it was for, but he didn't want to identify himself after probable cause was established. That's a violation of the law.
I guess, but so you're telling me that he, prior to the officers coming to him and making contact, he crosses in the middle of the street, like not in a designated.
Nowhere near a crosswalk, Judge,
Okay.
and it's a slow walk.
All right.
Very close to other vehicles, reckless conduct.
Okay.
That's why the officers felt like they had to stop them on that day.
Mr. Nichols, I want you to understand that we're not finding you guilty now.
I didn't do nothing.
So,
But nothing to find guilty. I didn't do anything. He beat me up. The officer beat me up.
stop, sir. Remember, you have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right. I've got a bunch of district attorneys here. Everything that you say, they're going to sit there, type it out. They're going to use it against you. All I'm trying to tell you is that I'm going to find probable cause because it's a very low burden. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're just going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm not putting
I
any.
have a lawyer. He's a civil lawyer though, because I'm filing a suit. So
We'll give you time.
all right.
But hold on.
I don't have no money for a criminal lawyer. I'm not gonna even deal with that. I don't have money for a criminal lawyer. I don't.
All I'm asking you to do is don't violate the law. Don't pick up any new cases.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm cool.
I'm not putting any conditions on your bond. Just don't pick up any new cases. So what we'll do is we're going to give you time. Okay. You need a lawyer to represent you. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine. We'll give you time. And when you come back, please have a lawyer.
You got an appointment lawyer. I don't have no money.
Why don't you have money?
I don't got none right now.
Why don't you got none?
Because I ain't been working.
Well, why aren't you working?
Because I've been busy taking care of my mother.
How I might make you work. I'm making it a condition of your bond that you get a job.
Well, I don't work because I do other stuff. I own my own like company, but I'm not working right now at in my field right now because my truck and stuff like that. My mom has cancer, so I have to be at home at times to change her, get her in the bed. And
how do you eat?
Who?
How do you eat?
Well,
do
we
you
share
get
money. We're family. We share money. She gives me money because I help her. You know, she gets her checks in, and I have her son has this cerebral palsy, so I also change his sheets and stuff like that. So I get that little provider money, I guess you want to call it.
So you're trying to say home health care.
Yeah, kind of like that. Home health care. It's not really my thing.
You get paid by the state to do this.
Yeah, she gives it to, yeah.
Okay, so you need to hire a lawyer.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Understand there's a gajillion lawyers in Harris County. Just, it's a matter of you interviewing.
On stuff I didn't, he's talking about Jaywalking on Freeport Street.
Stop. Remember, anything you say, they're going to use it against you.
I got you.
Not apparently because you're making admissions that can really hurt you, Mr. Nichols.
All right, I got you. All right.
We will give you time. The only thing I'm trying to counsel you is that with all the lawyers in Harris County, 99% of them will put you on a payment plan for a couple $100s a month. They'll represent you. What you got to do is ask. It's like finding a shoe. Same thing with the lawyer. Not the first shoe you find is not going to fit you well. It's the same thing with the lawyer. But be patient. Call a bunch, and you'll find the right shoe for you. Cool. Come on.
So Judge Fleischer got him there. That guy was a mess. It seemed a little suspicious with the jaywalking in Florida. If you don't walk in a crosswalk, they're going to get you. They're going to pull you over and at least ID and do all that. Sounded like he was just weaving in and out of traffic. And you see people in the big cities do that, and I guess Houston classifies as a big city. We're going to go over to Jen Hardy. She's got the original Alexa. Y'all seen the original Alexa in the chats. Y'all seen her in Jen Hardy's show. She's going to be being interviewed tonight. So please go over there and support there. And thank you guys so much. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. And look, if you're in the way of the storm, make sure you're safe. Make sure your family's safe. Make sure all the pets are safe. That stuff's important. And the storm's nothing to play about. We may joke about it a little bit, but in the end, make sure everyone's safe. You know, be your brother's keeper. All right, bye.